friends, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I have a flip through for you today of this new journal that I just completed. I'm calling it Artful Autumn. And so this book, I've just been sort of working on it mostly in the background. You'll probably have seen or will see one video of just getting started with it. But I've been just kind of working on it because I sort of have like a bit of a backlog of videos. So anyways, those details later. So if you see things a little out of order, that's why. But this is the final flip through. So let's take a look. Okay, so this book is a vintage book. It is beautiful. I really fell in love with the cover and just absolutely had to get it. It's a chunky book. It has 8 signatures. It has an overall autumnal feel. It also uses my a kit that I designed for my Patreon club for October. So yeah, it's artsy, it's autumnal, it's all the things. So the eyelets are gold, and I've put some hand-dyed lace here to tie it closed. And we have a visible 8 signatures, 3-stitch binding here. There's a little floral shaped eyelet here that I've used to add some waxed linen to. These lovely strings here of waxed linen with those lovely Chinese lanterns, little orange flowers, little flower buds, some greenery, just for a fun little autumnal kind of spine dangle. And this is some really lovely fabric that I added on the spine as well. You see a little bit of lace coming at the side, at the top and the bottom. We have some bits here and there. So let's jump on in. I've also used a couple of kits from the Art of Tina Fey on Etsy. Her autumnal and mushroom kit, I believe. Okay, so let's hop right in. So I had a little bit of fun with the end papers here. It's a little interesting. So this is the original book plate from this original book. This was a Ralph Waldo Emerson Essays and Journals book. And on back is the copyright information. It's 1968. So I've added a mushroom here and some washi tape just to kind of make it pretty and to strengthen up that page. So if we look here at the front, this is an authentic photo of this little boy, and he's just playing around in the trees here, or maybe doing some like snipping leaves, not sure, but I wanted to use him there because I felt like this has an overall sort of naturey theme, and he's very sweet, and I felt like he was just very sweet there. So the spine cover is some fun it's music paper that I jelly printed, and so you see it there. You can also see it a little bit through here, and that was by intention. I was like, I could add a couple layers of this paper, but I kind of like that it sneaks through. It's quite pretty. So the other thing I did with this, this is locally made marbled paper. I added some crinkles to it, so it's got like a fun texture. Like I just kind of, I took the piece a little too big and I kind of squished it in and made these fun wrinkles. And then inside we have a piece of beautiful paper from Inked Paper Arts on Etsy. So it's a little journal card. And then a little beautiful tarot card here. So after that, we start onto the second page. These are 2 pieces of ephemera from my kit. And this is a piece of the Tina Fey paper. All this fall paper that you see with that kind of patterning will be from Tina Fey, the Art of Tina Fey. And this is just some pretty crocheted lace, coffee dyed paper that I've done. This is a little tip out. This is a part from my kit. This is from Tina Fey. I love this old cabinet card. And this is from a children's book that I just really love these illustrations. They're just beautiful. And it's like a feast, and I felt like it was very autumnal and harvest feeling. This is from the Art of Tina Fey, and it's just this nice bit of like ledger paper with some botanicals. Some of my avocado dyed paper with a little plum label there. This is a little bit from my kit, and then there's a label here with some eco-printed fabric, a little bit of writing space. And then this is actually a handmade paper envelope, and inside here is a journal card from my kit, and that just pops on inside there. And then we have some illustrated owls. This is from a Glenn Loach book. This is a packing paper, some avocado dyed paper. This bit here is a vintage postcard from my kit. It says, "Shucks, lend me your ear," and then a little tag in there. This is cabbage dyed paper. This is really, I would say, a writer's journal or a journal that you could paste a lot of things in. I've left a lot of just nice paper, a lot of space for you to play with. Then a little poem from the original book. It says, "Go, speed the stars of thought on to their shining goals. The sower scatters broad his seed. The wheat thou strewest be souls." And more of those owls. This is the flap from the envelope with one of my own little handmade tea cards there. And some avocado dyed paper, some painty avocado dyed paper. This is from a children's book, and I just painted this space to be written on. This whole book just feels very warm and cozy to me. Then this is a little bit of writing space here in this label that you can, just write on this graph paper. And inside we have a little journal card here. This is from actually my witch kit, but I just felt like it was so autumnal that it would be really lovely tucked on in there, so I added it on in for a little more artsy. So it's just a little pocket. Coffee dyed paper, digital, and this is from my kit, and more of the digital from Tina Fey. Original book page, a little poem about nature on the original book page. These pieces are both from my kit on avocado dyed paper. And we have a little poem there from the original book. "In countless upward striving waves, the moon-drawn tide wave strives. In thousand transplanted grass, the parent fruit survives." I can read. Goodness. Some days your tongue just bumbles, More of the art of Tina Fey, and this is from a book and some handmade paper, just a little tuck spot. And this is from another book, and I just loved this very Halloween, kind of Victorian style illustration. And then on back we have a brief history of Halloween. Some coffee dyed paper, avocado dye paper. This is a piece from my kit, and then it's on an envelope flap, a hand-dyed envelope. And then this is kind of a multi-tuck sort of little tag journal card. So we have some beautiful paper back here, a tag that acts as a tuck, this little label on eco-dyed paper that says "The forest was full," and that's the journal card here that just tucks up in here. And then the whole thing tucks into the envelope flap there. Some coffee dyed paper. This green pumpkin is from my kit. This is a children's book page from a French book. This is one of my coffee dyed papers with some leafy goodness, and this is a hand-dyed envelope with a little watercolor paper swatch that I did. Avocado dyed paper and coffee dyed paper. This is a little cluster that I made. It's all fabric with a stamped mushroom. Art of Tina Fey paper and avocado dyed. This little tuck spot here on this fun orange bandana type paper. And then this is a tag that I made from a children's book page. On this side, we have a pocket here. So this is from my kid. It's so cute. "Let me twine blossoms round your head." And this is a bookmark that I made from the original book spine of this book, which I removed because it just simply wasn't big enough, but also it was just not in the best. It needed repair to the ditches that attach to the covers. Avocado dyed paper, art of Tina Fey. Some fun lace stitched on the side of some cabbage dyed paper. This little pocket's from my kit of these lovely pumpkins in front of this blue house. This is a journal card that I made. It's it's got little bits and bobs, so it's like a shaker card with some cedar and some ginkgo leaf, and it says, "'Twill all come right someday or night." And it uses images from It Capilli Imaginarium on Etsy. This is a little fold out from a children's book. Avocado dyed paper, coffee dyed paper. A little pocket here with a little tag. Has some fun grungy book spine up here, which is nice. And a little poem, how near to good is what is fair, which we no sooner see, but with the lines and outward air our senses taken be. And that's from this original book. This is a page from my kit of just this beautiful girl. Some coffee dyed paper, a little bit of stamping on avocado paper. Another children's book page that tips out and has writing space on both sides with coffee dyed paper. Cabbage dyed paper. This is another poem from the original book. Art of Tina Fey, avocado dyed paper. In this pocket we have Harvest Home, Bring Back That Rhapsody in Boo. So it's a little bit of classic Halloween information and a couple recipes, one for Barmbrack and one for Fortune Telling Crowdy. So I thought that was kind of fun. And those jack-o'-lanterns there. You know, you have to add a little bit of classic Halloween. So this is like, you know, just that little bit of classic Halloween, nothing spooky. Some embossed orange paper. And this is a journal card from my kit. And this is some of my hand-spun yarn stitched down the side on avocado dyed paper. This is a vintage card. It says, thinking of you, and I just love the embossed flowers. This is a little journal card made from a vintage photo from my kit. And on back we have some floral handmade paper. Avocado dyed paper, Art of Tina Fey. This is a little pocket that I collaged. It has a poem here, and it has a cabinet card from my kit. Back here we have some vintage garden fence images and a tag in there. Coffee dyed paper. Just some fun orange paper from a flyleaf. This is coffee dyed paper. And this sweet little squirrel and just some fun writing space on that orange flyleaf. This is a little thread cluster with a couple sweet little mice there. Children's book. And another page from Art of Tina Fey and avocado dyed paper. The other side of that vintage card, it says, to say you're thought of all the while and to bring you the cheer of a friendly smile, which would make this book a nice gift if you wanted to gift this book. This is a vintage postcard from Staines Bridge, and it is not written on, so it can be a journal card. This is just a pretty page from an art book with this lovely lady out in a garden here. And it's also a pocket for this journal card that I made. Among the twisted roots of a large tree, rough winds blew and cold rain fell, a strange sight. So that just pops on in here. And then another lovely book page. We have some turkeys here. And a little tuck spot, and this journal card from a children's book, and that is on some boiled book page. You can see the botanicals here, and this is another poem from the original book. Some tea-dyed paper, some Art of Tina Fey mushroom paper. This is a big tuck spot that I made from a children's book. I just really love the image, and this is a journal card of mushrooms from my kit. Avocado dyed paper. Some sweet little mice from this like mouse season book. October is the golden month, the month of Halloween. Look, we're climbing the biggest pumpkin that we have ever seen. Beautiful illustrations. Coffee dyed paper with some of my leaf printing there. And another mousy page. November brings in colder days, for winter's almost here. We gather berries, nuts, and corn. It's harvest time of year. And avocado dyed paper. This is a little pocket here with one of the journal cards from my kit. The pocket is made from a children's book. Another Art of Tina Fey page and some tea-dyed and boiled book page. Over here we have this little slide, and it says a kindly note. Inside are some little broken pieces of shell, and this little journal card just tucks on up here. And then this is a botanical book page, and inside we have this large double tag. It says "Suddenly a Clap of Thunder," and has a fox back there. They can both be written on. They're both journal tags. And that just tucks in this big pocket here. Then we have another beautiful page from a book. It was a calendar book. It's just a lovely cottage scene. Then we have an envelope flap here with a mushroom on it, on some of my coffee dyed leaf paper. And this is a little photo from my kit of a vintage photo, and it's a little journal card. Some more Art of Tina Fey paper. This is a little pocket that I've made from some pretty paper, and it has two things. It has this lovely piece of handmade paper and this little journal tag from Art of Tina Fey. And they both tuck in here, and I'll just show you here. So you can see there are a couple little stamp punched windows there, so you can see through. And then we have some avocado dyed paper. This little pocket here is from a scrap from my kit. And this is another little postcard from my kit. It says, "I could cry my eyes out for you," and it has an onion. Then on this side we have this belly band style pocket, and inside this journal card from a children's book. I added some book spine and a fun piece of floral lace there. And if you watch my Tuesday 10, you may recognize some of these ephemera pieces. This is avocado dyed paper, tea dyed paper, just some grungy old map. This is some eco dyed fabric. It's a fabric pocket, and pinned on we've got these bird stamps from a vintage field guide, and they can kind of flip up and down. That's removable if you did want to remove it. There's tea dyed lace over here, and on the you can see it's quite a large piece of tea dyed lace. And then inside we have one of my mycology photography journal cards, and it has an eyelet in it and some extra paper on the front there for texture and writing space. Okay, and then we have this Glenn Lotes illustration from a book of this pheasant, and this is from my kit. It's just a little frond of leaves, and some more of that map, cabbage dyed paper, avocado dyed paper. This is a little playing card with a fox on it, the Joker card, and I just love the illustration. This is a journal card that I designed for my Patreon kit. This is some avocado dyed paper. This is an image of a color by number puzzle on some cork, and this is a little journal card that tucks on in there, has some yarn attached, coffee dyed paper. This is an envelope that I just added some fun fall strips of paper from the Tina Fey kit, the Art of Tina Fey. This is a journal card. It has the gardener's receipt book written down there. That's from one of my other Patreon kits. This is more of the Art of Tina Fey. This little pocket I made with just this old image of a bow. This is in my Journal Together kit on Patreon, and then there's an original poem from the book. Inside we have this handmade button card that I made. I made the buttons and added some fun lace on there. Avocado dyed paper. This is a little tuck spot here on this vintage music paper called A Little More Cider, which I thought was nice. And then we have a little tag with a mushroom. This side we have a coin or bill envelope with a vintage playing card. This is an image from my kit. We have a little flying squirrel Canada stamp there. And then this journal tag inside, that's a little vintage German die cut paper on some William Morris background. And then cabbage dyed paper, coffee dyed paper with leaf print. This is from a floral macro photography book. This is an envelope that flips over. It's attached with a rusted paper clip, and it has this beautiful butterfly and some fern. And inside we have a little journal card that just tucks into those two cute little flaps there. And then it just hangs over the side of the page as so. And we add this little paper clip to just hold it on. Avocado dyed paper, more of the macro photography of flowers, and my coffee dyed lace paper. This is a tuck made from a piece from my kit on Patreon. This is vintage music that says Home Sweet Home. This is a collage tag that I made that says Looking Glass upon the wall, who is the fairest of us all? And it has this little mini envelope and some fun collaging and music paper that's been jelly printed. This is a little pocket here with one of my mycology photos behind it, and it has this little owl tag inside. Avocado dyed paper, a little cabinet card from my kit. This one's so sweet with this little baby holding this old bear. These are both pages from Art of Tina Fey. This is sort of a double pocket. So we have a fun poem here. Lettuce is another good plant we should be sure to sow. Let us always be faithful and loyal to those we know. Let us strive to be truthful our whole lifetime through, and let us be unselfish in all that we say and do. And up here inside the pocket we have this watercolor swatch on book page. It is backed with packaging paper, and that just tucks up in the top of this tall pocket. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Okay, and then on the side we have a piece from my kit, my Patreon kit, that just tucks on in the side there. And then some coffee dyed paper with lace on the side, the leaf printing, avocado dyed paper. This is a page from a vintage botanical book, and a little pocket here made from a children's book. A journal card from my kit that says, Sweetheart, I love you, though you have a temper like, it has a hot pepper on there. And this is cabbage dyed paper. This is a beautiful flyleaf from a book. Some boiled book with this fun little tattered spot here, and look at all those botanicals. Isn't that fun? A little birch tree tuck from my kit, and this is a tag that I just made. This is a little tuck spot here with these mushroom tags, some fun threads, avocado and coffee dyed papers. And this is a little duck here, just a little stamp. And then the last page is from Art of Tina Fey. The back pocket is from a vintage field guide about trees. It's got the birches here with their catkins, and then in back we have another fun page from inked paper art on Etsy, and then more of that kind of crinkled fun handmade paper, the hand marbled paper. And then we're at the end of this journal. So thank you so very much for hanging out with me and seeing this flip through. If you are seeing this video, that means that this journal has been posted on my Etsy, and it's there if you would like it. It is called the Artful Autumn Junk Journal. So thank you again, and we will talk again soon. Bye for now.